Hello and welcome back to Crew 42's coverage of the 2025 Greater Peoria Open. It is held in Morton, Illinois at Northwood Black Disc Golf Course, one of the world's toughest courses, and this is our MPO Lead Card. I'm so excited to come back with Sam Smigiel on the commentator's mic with me. How you doing?
Hey, I'm having a great time, Zach. We are on Northwood Black shorts for this round, and we're seeing some birdies. This is a very attackable course, still opportunities to get into some trouble, but a lot of birdie opportunities. Zach with a clean scorecard. He is at 3 down. Adrian, quite a bit of birdies, a couple bogeys, is at 2. GT even. Chris 1 over. Hole 10, 325. Most players are going to throw a big forehand around this tree on the left-hand side. Possibly someone's going to throw a backhand skip shot along the right, but pretty open on the left side. I think we'll see a lot of forehands. Zach, I was going to say he's going to throw a backhand, but prove me wrong again.
He is a bit of a maverick, right? You never know quite which option he's going to take. Yeah, this gets into circle. A little deep circle at least, 25, 30 feet.
Oh, it looks like we are going to see the backhand here.
Tougher ceiling here. Needs to keep it low.
Yeah, probably going with a faster disc to get the skip. And can't draw it up any better than that.
Might need to check his disc for dents that whacked the rocks around the basket.
This is inside, but there's a gap through those little branches.
Made the Mando.
Can't beat that.
Yeah, anyone who's taken that left gap in general that I kept watching were taking the high gap. A lot of forehands out in this direction. Adrian with effortless power for this line. Also getting well inside of circle one.
Yeah, you will see some players go with a little bit lower line and go for the skip. The back, I think, keeps the back trees out of play because the disc is going to kind of stall at the basket a little bit. Ooh. A tough miss there from Zach inside the circle.
Definitely on a hole that plays considerably easier than its longer counterpart as a par 3. And Chris spits out left and low. Good putt from Adrian. It's going to be a birdie. GT as well. Yeah, this is a race. Hole 10, 11. They're muskets, in my opinion. Like, if you're looking to compete and push up the field, and this short layout's 10 definitely tougher than 11, which the long position, it's a bonus birdie. But in the short position, it's 260, little turnover. This one you got to get. This has to be a birdie.
Probably the easiest hole on the course, I would say. Putter turnover or little chip forehand behind the trees. Really just hit the initial gap, and I mean it's right there for you. Not much to it. Give it a little run. Come on.
He did. Landed back in the woods with circle's edge or so.
Yeah, Adrian, very good forehand player. Really expect to see him. Always expect to see him inside the circle on a hole like this.
Mm-hmm. Here comes Zach. Lefty backhand. I love this. Just pretty much dead straight. That little ridge along the basket is 20 feet at the longest. So gets himself inside circle one nicely.
Yeah, and he played it just straight. You really don't have to flex it towards the basket where Zach is at. He's no more than 20 feet and really takes a lot of technicality out of the hole where you're just throwing it straight and you don't have to worry about throwing a turnover that goes too long like we saw from GT, and he may have a challenging putt here. Good birdie from Adrian. Looks like GT didn't push too far back and makes a nice circle's edge putt.
And you expect this on a hole that's been simplified this much. Chris gets his birdie to go. We're going to get our first star frame.
Yeah, Zach's not missing that.
Yeah, you say it and then you hold your breath. Don't you dare jinx it. All right, we got our birdie. It's going to move us over to hole 12, short position. So essentially, you have the perfect drive. You have now good footing, and you're trying to get across this. How much easier should this hole play from the shorts?
I mean, it's going to be, I'd say, like 1.2 strokes.
Yeah. So, like, here's my thing, right? Because the PDGA and the tour and everyone, no one puts par 6 out anywhere, right? No one does it, right? It's written. PDGA bylaws, it says this is what classifies for par 6. You can write it down. A lot of old heads are like, nope, we're purists. There's no such thing as a par 6. If this is a par 5, which I believe that it is, then how in the world is the Longs not a par 6?
Boy, and it sure feels every bit as one.
And you know what? There's got to be a hole at some point that pushes the envelope where, like, it's got to be the first one to do it. This one just seems appropriate to be the one. They haven't done it yet, but maybe in the future. My soapbox is going to be put away now. Adrian leaks off to the right there. You just don't want to make that mistake. You want to be put in a really good position. Zach's also a little left, but...
Yeah, once again, just going with that putter to keep it straight, keep it in the fairway. I really like that play from him. We saw a lot of that yesterday, seeing that more today. Just staying in control. We're seeing some wide flexes. I don't think these guys are trying to go that far wide. The flex forehand is nice to give yourself a little bit more distance, and I think you can kind of land on the flat of the hill.
Do you know how far it is from that tee pad to the hill?
To the hill, I think you're probably maybe 350.
Yeah, big pump.
Yeah.
To get on top of the hill, you have to have all 400.
Oh, yeah. More probably, you're looking at probably 460 a power.
Because you have to get over the hill with a limited ceiling.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Chris unable to cut the corner there. Adrian trying to just hang it over. And really, anything on top of the hill is spectacular from that position. He's going to be left a little short, so we'll see if he can make anything happen from there. Chris trying to cut the corner again. Not seeing an option to pitch. It's on the hill. Forward progress. GT now. This is a great drive from him.
And just got to keep this one straight. You can get a little bit aggressive if you've got to flip you enough disc, but that's the danger in doing that. Doesn't look like he kicked all the way down the hill, but there is danger in any further left than where I think GT might be, and there's a drop off, and you go down that hill, and you're looking at going an extra 100 feet.
Zach is sticking to his putter play as he just pitched it on top of the hill.
Yeah, Adrian was just a little short enough of the top of the hill where I don't think he could have gotten aggressive enough with that forehand to get all the way to the basket. And I don't think he kicked too far into the trees where he should still be able to have some sort of look at up and down. And Chris at this point looks like he's kind of scrambling for birdies. I think he's reaching and missed a couple putts that he would have liked to get back, and we're starting to see that come to a head.
Wow, great roller there from GT. Gets himself in the circle. Smooth. Go in.
Oh, come on. I would have loved to see that.
Let's take a look at it again from the catch cam's perspective the whole way. I think it's a zone from him. Just a little touch of flip to it and just right on the money, just 6 inches too low.
I mean, just, again, look at how easy he made this whole look. And you see Adrian has been, I mean, his average throw has been, 160 feet. Was way too far to the right, didn't get far enough on his next shot.
Pitched, right.
And, we've seen the same thing from Chris, where it's just, if you're not in a good position, man, this can get tough.
And one of the things I really love about this course, and I think one of the reasons why people respect the course is, some of these lines are tight, but a lot of people like it, is the placement of this part of the gauntlet. It doesn't happen at the beginning when you're still fresh and rosy and trying to be aggressive. It doesn't happen at the end when you're so beat up and defeated that you don't want to be aggressive. It happens near the end, close enough to where you feel like you can be aggressive and you have a little energy, and man, it eats you up. If you haven't prepped yourself, if you haven't been snacking, if you haven't been drinking water, you find yourself taking snowmen pretty quickly on this course. And it's just well designed in this part of the stretch. And another reason I really like hole 12 too is that hill on that second approach reminds me a lot of the hill at Deglow hole 2, where if you're on the hill, you can't really get into the green. You saw GT's kind of shorten up to the hill, because then he can kind of match the top of the hill, push into the green, right? If he gets a good shot. If you're on the hill or too close to it, you don't have that option anymore. You have to go with a roller. It gets dangerous. Saw Chris leak out left. It gets hairy. So, I love that hole a lot. Glad we get to film it again this year. We're on to hole 13 now. Playing the short, so we don't have to quite get as aggressive with a hyzer. You get to pitch to the corner first and then around and over the lake. How much easier is this from the short position?
Oh, this is so much easier. You don't have a gap off of the tee to worry about, so you're just going with a slower disc, really trying to get anywhere 330 to 360, and anything past that last pine tree is going to put yourself in a good position to have a look at the basket to get up and down.
GT very fortunate not to kick into a bad spot. That looked a little right.
I was a little right, and definitely gets in danger, and this is in danger of doing the same thing.
Yikes. Love the putter play, but missed his line inside for the lefty.
And Adrian taking a more aggressive line. Oh, no, this is a slower disc. Okay. So you do see some players take a forehand and try to flex it all the way down the hill, but that can bring in the water into play, because this is not a far hole.
Chris getting a big skip.
Yeah, it's a good shot from Chris, though. Keeps it low and away from the tree, and he's going to have some sort of line at the basket. You see Zach here is just having to pitch around the corner, and he really makes almost no forward progress, because you just there's just no way to even get to the basket from there.
Even Adrian just taking a big jump putt, getting as close to that water's edge that feels comfortable, so he can have a easier approach. GT though, good position.
Yeah, he's going to have a little soft turnover here. Speed control is key to not go blowing past the basket.
Oh, that was about to blow by. Explain a little bit for people at home the difficultness or the necessity of the speed control for this green specifically. What's the danger with it?
So because this is up on the hill, if you go anything past, which I think we're going to see here from Chris, no, I guess these guys just find the backstops. It's just going to go an extra 20 feet.
Yeah.
So normally if it was on flat ground, you're going to be 20 feet behind the basket. Now you're going to be 40. Conversely, if we're going to see him leave that short, all of that rough there is OB, and you leave it just a little bit too short, then now you haven't even crossed the water yet.
Oh yeah, there's no saving that putt, or very rarely. And that's the trick. It feels like if you can get your disc slowing down, hitting that front wood chip hill, that's the shot.
Yes. Yeah, keeping it flat. I really like the speed control there from Adrian. Very touchy with the forehand and kind of kisses the front of that hill to slow the disc down.
Zach gets the putt to go, saves his par. GT now. GT, who struggled in the front 9, only shot even, is 4 through 4 here on the back.
Yeah, he's kind of on a little bit of a heater.
See if he can keep up the momentum as we move into the hole 14, which is also a difficult hole here. But from the shorts, very manageable. You're farther up the tunnel here on your initial tee shot. Are you looking to get more aggressive off the tee into the tunnel, or are you just trying to make sure you're in the perfect landing zone, just like that 240, 250 putter?
Yeah, it's all about the landing zone. You can't really get that much extra distance off of the tee. There's not a way to throw a flex forehand or throwing a faster disc to get a bigger skip. You can get another 20 or 30 feet. It's just not worth the risk. Most of these players are going to be throwing a putter, overstable mid, to just line themselves up with the fairway and then just keep it right down the middle, because kicking any of these trees into the left is absolute jail, and kick it too far to the right, there's some trouble, and go far enough to the right and there's OB.
GT up first. He's got a slower disc in his hand. It looks like a mid-range. And turns the corner in the gap perfectly, looks like. That 500 orange-looking stake up against the tree, that's like the edge, the far edge of the fairway there. So anything in front of that is really, really good. And Zach says, I like that spot. I'm going to land next to it.
Yeah, I really like keeping this tee shot simple and not trying to get too crazy with it, because there's just not a lot of benefit to getting really aggressive.
Chris.
Looks like Chris is trying to get a skip with a faster disc, and you see that there. He's going to be, there's a lane on the left-hand side, yeah. But even if that got a perfect position, he was only going to be 30 feet past where GT was.
Right. I had asked you earlier about how much easier you think hole 12 played, from the short to long. You said 1.2, almost exactly on the money, just a smidge over that easier.
Okay.
14, give us a prediction here. How much easier do you think it plays from longs to shorts?
I'm just going to give it a stroke.
One stroke.
One stroke.
Okay.
And we did kind of, gloss over Zach's shot there, where he just absolutely piped that. Kept it straight down the fairway. Absolutely no danger of hitting a tree. Adrian's going to catch the last one, but I don't think he was trying to bite off too much. He's still going to be in position for birdie.
Roller.
Chris is going for the eagle here.
Turning the camera.
We're turning the camera.
Not sure where that ended up. We're going to have to take a look once he gets up there.
Yeah, that was looking like it was on a pretty good angle. If it missed the last couple of trees, he's actually got a chance to get up there for an eagle.
This needs to hyzer out and does not in time. Gets knocked down. A pretty similar position where he was last round, where he had that jump spot. I can't talk. Jump putt from that position. See if he goes with the same play this time around. Adrian with a similar dilemma. He holds it over a little too long. The difference between longs and shorts was about the same on 12, 1.2 better.
Okay, so the player's still getting off into a little bit of trouble from the longs off the tee.
Oh, yeah. They love finding trouble on the longs. Yeah, averaging over 6 from the longs, averaging 5.19 from the shorts. So true par 5 for our field at this tournament. Nice approach from Chris there. He's got to get himself in the bullseye.
Yeah, I really like that roller play from Chris. If you're confident with that, then you're not going to hit as many trees, because there's less room for the disc to even hit a tree. And it's if it hits a tree, it's not going to kick away to the left or way to the right. So, yeah, well done from him.
GT on that jump putt turned around to the camera and said, better than yesterday. It was, in fact, better than yesterday, but guess what? If you go,
It's the same result.
yeah, 45-45 gets you up and down, and so does, 70 and 20. So good birdie from Chris there. Par coming up for Adrian. And we're going to make this final stretch, turning the corner. These last 4 holes are together. Hole 15, par 4, 5, 25. This one is not as simplified. It's a shorter hole, but it's the same play. Would you agree?
I think you're going to see more backhands from the shorts because you're positioned a little bit more on the right side of the fairway.
Okay.
Probably a mid-range off the tee. A lot of players are still going to favor the forehand because it's going to fade away from that OB. The whole left side is OB, so definitely a mistake is avoid that at all costs. But cutting the distance down on this is big, where you see Zach just chipping a putter up there, and he is in prime position to get himself up and down.
Forehand coming in for Chris. This needs to sit. Yep.
Yeah, I think the forehand on this one, if you're throwing a faster disc, you have to flex it a little bit more than you do from the longs.
Yeah.
Because you're on the right-hand side, so you've got to drift it to the left to get it to go back right.
And that pocket, too, there's that part of the OB that kind of protrudes out. That's kind of the common aim point from the longs. That is kind of where you want to turn that disc if you're flipping it over. There's a little more space on the left side to allow you to kind of flip back. Oh, this could be it.
Look at this. And Adrian with a ton of power. He's going hyzer flip, and he's going for the green. I mean, that's edge of circle, too. That's a fantastic drive.
Yeah, it gets a little more over on that into that space we were just talking about, and you might be putting closer to circle 1. No tree kick for GT this time. He's going to stay in circle 1. I don't know what this dyed sun disc is for
He's
Chris.
probably going along the outside, trying to just skip it up to the basket.
Oh,
Give it a little bit of a run.
but he's been throwing it pretty well on this back 9 so far. He's got himself a 20 to 25 footer comeback putt. It just popped in my head just now. You know, someone had asked me, you know, when you're thinking about building your bag for Northwood Black,
Oh, come on.
do it.
Oh, I want to see the eagle on this. With the power that he has with that forehand, you know he's thinking the eagle, and I would have loved to see that.
But a lot of guys are thinking, you know, the fairways that are really important for you to kind of execute a lot of these fairways, and Zach Arlinghaus is like zone, Chally OS. That's what I need.
I really like that. We've seen him throw more putters and, you know, approach this than anybody else so far.
Yeah.
And he's playing the course very clean both days so far, and it's really interesting to watch where we're seeing a lot of drivers and some more aggressive lines, and he's taking aggressive lines where he can, but he's also playing very, very smart where it doesn't make a lot of sense to try to throw the big shot.
Hole 16, 330, downhill. You want to get over the log wall in order to get yourself into the circle. Just try to stay clean off the tee.
Looks like Zach's trying to go with a little bit of a flex, but just overturns that. There is a creek under the bridge there. That is, I believe that's going to play as casual.
It is casual.
And this is low. The tricky thing about this hole being 330 is that little low ceiling is, even though this hole's downhill, it's going to play pretty much the full 330. And I think that's where, you know, a 330 straight shot, you would expect all these players to be burying it.
Right.
I think that's one of the deceiving things about this hole, where you have to put a little bit extra on it that is you wouldn't normally have to do on most downhill holes.
And not only that, but when you throw downhill, your disc interacts a little differently as well. A little extra flip oftentimes is something that I'll see or from a lot of other people. And, that can get you in some trouble. A lot of times you'll see people leak a little right, trying to throw that shot. And throwing downhill is different than throwing a straight 330 shot. So it does add its own element of difficulty naturally just from the downhill, even though you're right, it should be just a dead straight 330 shot. But those little tweaks and elements added to it just makes it a little harder than a normal 330 shot. Oh, come on.
What a run.
That's
he was about 100 feet from the basket.
Say it's the first time we've seen a hammer not go next to the basket, but he was in a abysmal position.
Yeah. I don't know if I can hold that one against him.
That's fair.
He was pretty far off the fairway.
Chris here, bottom of the ravine and unable to get it high enough for the birdie. Good effort though, Adrian now.
Oh,
no.
Just leaves it low. And those are just the putts that you just really can't miss coming down the stretch.
Especially as we'll see at the end of the round, scores are starting to compress again, right? As they finish up their round. Every stroke matters, whether you're making lead card or for money. Like, you want to get everything you can. And those are ones you remember at the end of the tournament if you aren't in the position you want to be. Hole 17, par 3, 320. Drone's taking the left gap. Sam, you like the right gap.
I do. I love throwing a slight turnover backhand, and it's really whatever you're most comfortable with. If you like the backhand, you're going to take the left gap. If you like the forehand, you're going to take flex forehand. I don't think anyone is any better or worse, but there is OB all along the left side and the rough, so the right-hand gap, I guess in that sense, is a little bit more safe.
Yeah.
But if you hit a tree, you could still go OB.
Sure.
So just do what Zach did and put it under the basket.
Throw lefty, flex.
Sure.
That's what Zach did. I don't think I can do that. Ooh. Good line from Chris there. He's going to be up along the wall on the backside for his putt.
This looks high, but it's not too overstable. I think he should be up there for. Ooh.
Give me one, please. My channel's desperate for aces. Give me an ace.
Gosh, that just kept on drifting and just short. This is also looking good. I think that cabbage is going to slow it down a little too much. It'll be a long look. Chris with a good birdie. GT about 20 feet. Able to knock that one down.
Good make after the previous hole miss. And that's going to be a birdie for Zach. 8 under. He's got himself a 3-stroke lead on the card. As we move over to hole 18, the par 4 590. Although maybe some opportunities to get on top of the hill now.
If you're going flex forehand or maybe lefty backhand, I don't know what Zach prefers on this one. You can flex it up to the top of the hill or at least up to that first landing zone. But nothing wrong with throwing it to the bottom of the hill. And once you do that, it is throw the disc as straight as possible down this tunnel. And if you're at the bottom of the hill, that can be pretty tough.
Yeah, from the longs too, like you have to throw a turnover forehand for it to flex back. From here, if you hit the initial gap and you hyzer early, you do have some potential to still get higher up on the hill on the right side gap. Although I wouldn't recommend it. It's still pretty wooded and not as open as the central gap that Zach is hitting right now, but at least the bailout is more available in that position.
Yeah, I think where Zach is at, he's going to be high enough up on that first Yeah, both him and Chris are going to be in a good position where that second hill is not too close to them, and they're still going to have a good look at forehand, backhand, whatever their preferred shot's going to be.
See Chris. Nope, that's GT. Heiseren early, but still getting on top of that platform. He'll be on the right side. There are a lot of trees to contend with on that side, but still can make forward progress.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to see all 4 forehands off of the tee. Very good forehand players, so not a surprise. We've got a couple of guys going to be taking that right-hand gap. It's there, but definitely going to be a lot tighter.
What?
And tomahawk from
Yeah.
Zach. And, got up there quite a ways. I think he just had a tight enough gap where he couldn't throw a clean enough air shot, and that was the airspace he had to work with, and did it well.
Looked like his roller disc. Looked like it was a quick flip
Yeah.
hawk as well, which, yeah, interesting. GT gets kicked down pretty early. Adrian has turned this one over far too much. He's in the woods for his third. Here's Chris. Ooh, this has
Looking
potential.
good.
It's got to push. Oh, and it doesn't. It catches the early trees on that left side of the fairway. Ooh.
Yeah, GT in a little precarious position. Oh, he had some pace on that.
Come on, man.
And now to go from a hole that you birdied from the longs, and now we're going to bogey from the shorts.
Yeah, tough one to finish your round on the bogey. Oh, and great bid from Adrian there. Looking to finish with the par. Chris, opportunity for birdie. Will not go.
Chris has had a tough day kind of picking up the birdies that he's been looking for. He's been aggressive. He's been trying to do it, but not the round he was looking to have. Only going to be one down for the round. See Zach and Adrian tap in their pars. Chris gets his as well, and GT will finish out the round with a bogey here. Well, he's got to make this first. Okay, he does. And we're going to take a look at some scores, take a look at some leaderboards, and see where the standings are at. GT with a great start here on the back nine with 4 in a row, able to get himself under par. Zach Arlinghaus, though, getting the 8 under for the card, leading it currently, and we're going to take a look at standings as well. Zach currently in the lead by 4 strokes, Trevin at 4 down, GT at 4 down in second, and Kevin will round out our lead card for the final day at 3 down. 4-stroke lead. How confident should Zach feel with that kind of lead going back into the longs?
I think he should feel good, but you still got to play a good round to finish this one out. I mean, it's 2-stroke swings can happen anywhere at Northwood Black. We are going to be at the longs tomorrow, so anything can happen.
If you're a part of our Patreon, thank you so much. If you want to join, it's an easy way to support the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you guys for the final round in just a moment.